YouTube universe. Fizzleman one signing in like always. Fizz and Friends Gaming, Fizzle Friends. We here back with another Madden News Day. Madden News Day number 2. I'm a little sick under the weather right now, but as you could tell, if you haven't tell from the title, we here going into the 1920 Madden playoffs. Here, part of Madden Stars, connected franchise mode involving, of course, all the superstars in the NFL, but also incorporating your real life self. If anybody want to join, you will always have to incorporate your real life self to the team, to the league, to the whole NFL and the position you're more, you feel you're comfortable with, or and you prefer and you like and that you're good at, if you would like to say. You can also do dream position, but it will go based off your real attributes as well, your real weight, your real height. But off that, is only 2 players in this first year of officially calling it Madden Stars, but it was previously called Jarvis Rose and Ronnie Ray Connect the Franchise Mode. I'm here now live with you guys. You know what I mean? Something short, something simple. You know what I mean? But like, I'm trying to make it short and simple for you guys. But we're here going into the playoffs from season roundup. We actually here on a playoff day. This is like before the games start, prime, like pre-show games. Pre-shows before the game, pre-game shows. This is that. The game that is coming, you will hear that later on today. But this is just little highlights that you're seeing from the really week 17 last week, or the little bit of highlights from the previous season. You know what I mean? Towards the end. That's what you're seeing here. But like I said, we're here to showcase all the Madden stars, and obviously it's a video game, so we choose to put ourselves in it, starting off like that. And now we're here just to bring it to that emotion where we bring ourselves up as we're unknown, we're undrafted, of course, and make it through the NFL. And shout out to the 49ers, because without them we would have never been here. They picked us up. And of course, I do my background research. I try to be authentic and realistic with it as possible. So I hope you all know that this is compared to the real life as well. So compared to me, I feel like this is a good, percentage wise, I give it like at least about 80, 85 barely accuracy, because there's people getting hurt. There's also, in real life, and also the outcome of games don't always be the same. So all world, we pay attention to all world more than the real life, but we don't neglect the real life. But as I'm here, about to get into it, if you haven't checked out the previous, you will know what these games are. This game and the Panthers and the Saints game was the last game shown on Sunday football period, and then Monday night game and then Thursday night game is what was shown within the Bears and the Chiefs and the Packers and the Vikings. But going in forward, before I go any more forward and check out this Madden News Day for the playoffs, as you see tomorrow's superstars, this is an update. We're going across to make it well known that we're comparing the real life and our world, and see how the outcomes come, if it comes out the same, in matters of comparing, you know what I mean? But like I'm trying to say is, we're here in March in 2020. March 2020, we're live here. And tomorrow's superstars means there's a new draft combine, there's a new draft class, there's a new group of players coming into the league that could either stop us from making it, or at least helping us make it. Or we will get traded to another team because they got somebody who they feel is better than us. Either or, that's how it goes. And 9 times out of 10, go back to our players, Ronnie Ray and Jarvis Rose. We normally think about the possibility of, making it and becoming a star, right? So there's times in our season and our contracts is all realistic. So if we sign like a certain amount of years in that contract, will always play out throughout these years. And how you play in real life, how, like I said, I compare real life and in our world here in Madden Stars. How you do in real life will also probably may 100% show out in, in the game. And interest would probably be based off of how you're doing money wise, working, or just trying to get yourself together. That probably showcase how many, trust they believe in you. And I don't know how to correlate the conversation with you guys, but just to say that we try to make sure that, not always trying to make sure, but 9 times out of 10 with just two players, Jarvis Rose and Ronnie Ray, in Madden and NFL history, putting our players going in, realistically, they actually they they're good, but they outcome in real life plays out the same way as the outcome in the game. Plays out the same way as in real life. So just know that's what I'm talking about with that. The outcome in the game showcase the outcome, how you feel, how you act towards the game, how you act towards things in real life shows in the game. So the numbers we put up is in the previous season for our 3 years in the season roundup. You could check that out. It's the last video in Madden Stars year 3. Obviously we here at year 3, 1920 season. We about to get down here and Madden Stars. I didn't really save it, obviously, so it's auto save, but I didn't do nothing much, so auto save is okay for this playoffs as it's a whole new season. So as we got ourselves in Madden Newsday, we're gonna take a few breaks real quick and then come back with you guys. Alright. We're back here with Madden Newsday number 2. This is going into the postseason Madden playoffs. We're here. You can see all the little F news, bottom news. You can see all the little highlighted top news here. And just to let you know, if you don't know what we're going through today, we always go across the injury reports, go across the news. We already went through the stats throughout the year from the season roundup. So we're mainly just here to talk about the playoffs and who's going into the playoffs and what is expected and what game is coming up and pretty much what we're here to see in the next couple of hours. Because remember, like I said, today's March. If I be accurate with you, today's March 11th. So today, March 11th, 2020, we're here finishing up our season each week. I'm trying to produce it. My whole goal is to really showcase every game every week, just like the real NFL. I haven't done that for 3 seasons, this season included, but from this point all the way to next season start, yes, of course, I am pushing for it to be, like I said, every week we're showcasing football when football season come back around. And I also next year, I did do this year, was a Hall of Fame game, uh, but I didn't showcase it. Also did a preseason, but I don't showcase those. But I only showcased the preseason my first year. So next year, just a little heads up what's to come. I think I will showcase a Hall of Fame game. That will be the 2 teams. That will also be the first game I actually play on Madden 21. So Hall of Fame game would be that. It will be 2 teams. It would be either me, Ronnie, or me, or any other of my friends, or even you guys playing that game. So we're gonna build it up to that expectation next year. But I did cut out the preseason, so there will be no preseason shown in next year. But there will be a time break after you see the Hall of Fame game. That will be also, like I said, the preseason, and you will see changes to come where the start of the season will be a Hall of Fame game, but then we're gonna go back with a Madden News Day, recapping the whole preseason. Then we go right into the season with the first week, and normally Madden News Day may be on the same day of a game, so and that game would be Thursday, so maybe Madden News Day be every Thursday. In our world, it goes a day after, the schedule. So if it's a Thursday night is a Friday, and if it's a Sunday night is a Monday night is a Tuesday. So any other game that's after Thursday will also come on a Saturday or Friday. It will showcase the same day as Thursday, maybe the next day, or like that Sunday, like I said, if it's that Saturday. But yeah, a lot of introductions, a lot of talking, a lot of stuff we're going into. Let's not take too much of your time, but we will get across some highlighting news. So let the battle begin. As the opening week of the NFL playoffs get underway, the Jaguars travel to the Houston Texans in the first round of the NFL playoffs. The Falcons beat the Buccaneers as they are Super Bowl champs in Super Bowl 53. So that's a notable note to take note. Falcons didn't make it this year to the playoffs. We'll get more into that if you don't know who made it to the playoffs. But like I'm saying, the Chiefs and the Browns going at it. Jaguars, Houston going at it. Jaguars was the contenders last year, so this is a big stepping stone for the Jaguars this year. And honestly, I'm not shying away from it. Yes, the Bears, they got one of the best records, and they got Khalil Mack, so I think the Bears got a high chance to do the same thing the Falcons did last year. But who knows, and what one knows what happened. I wanted the Jets, as you see Adam Gase, our head coach, which I also picked the plays and, help out the team and a coach mindset like him, and not really me, it's him. But I play as myself, Jarvis Rose, lock on, and we're here on the Jets. I almost made it to the playoffs. This is my second year seeing an 8-8 record. My second year with the Jets wasn't really that good. So this year was a very promising year. We got Le'Veon Bell, so we almost made it, but we didn't. So we probably couldn't, beat the Bears or whatnot. But since I'm not in it, Ronnie was on the Dolphins. She's not in it because Ronnie is a female. If y'all don't know, call her Ro. You know what I mean? She's a female, but her male comparison is Ronnie Ray, and he's on the Dolphins. Honestly, none of us have no control of what is to come. Just for like the first 2 seasons, we started disconnected franchise mode, Madden Stars. We don't know what is to come. But yeah, we here with Madden News. We about to get across some news. But before we go any further, we here to take away our time to check out injury reports going into this season. Y'all probably 100% don't know who's in the playoffs, but we do know the Jaguars, the Texans, the Browns, and the Chiefs are in it. Give y'all 100%. The AFC is 100%. No, bring back. It's 95% accurate to who made it in the playoffs on the AFC side, where the NFC side is probably like 25% accurate. Due to that, means that 95% comes off of one team that is not accurately to who made it to the playoffs, and that's just the Browns. The Browns is the only team that didn't make it to the playoffs in real life. So as we go across the board of all the teams, we're here with the Bears, starting it off as we go through our injury reports. But a little side note, of course, you could take a glimpse as we go through the injury report, is that only the Browns was the only team that didn't really make it, but made it to the playoffs. I think the Bills made it, and I think that was the Colts who made it, or it was the Texans, Colts, or the Titans. The Titans, I think, made it too. I don't remember who made it, but the Titans in our world, yeah, King Henry, you know what I mean? He had a lopsided season last year, having who I call his successor, you know what I mean? Dion Lewis starting in and making his name and made it to our Pro Bowl last year, which we didn't show, but hopefully this year we show our Pro Bowl. I don't think they have a Pro Bowl in real life, but yeah. So like I said, the Titans, I think, was the other team to take the Browns spot. So the Browns is the Titans in this world. I would tell you who else is there later on in the NFC, but everybody else you should know is the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Texans, and the Ravens. Oh, bring it back, my fault. It was the Browns and the Jaguars. I don't think they really made it. I think it was the Titans. I don't really remember who made it to the playoffs. Just know in Super Bowl 54 in real life, the Patriots, the defending champions, didn't make it, but it was the Chiefs who took the title, and also the 49ers went there. The 49ers is not here, but we do have a couple big top teams, and the top teams go based off of what they done. The Jaguars, Super Bowl contenders last year. The Patriots, New England, defending champions this year. The Chiefs, the real life Super Bowl champs, or Super Bowl 54 is here. So take note about the Chiefs. And anybody else I could say, the Bears undefeated coming into the season. Christian McCaffrey, he's gone for the season. Injury reserve, of course, he's gone. That's a big note. The Panthers are in the playoffs. Cam is healthy though. Cam is in. So Cam is here, but Christian McCaffrey didn't have a really breakout year that he had in real life. But we all know next year he will. And of course, if y'all don't know, the time where I started this franchise was when the game came out. That's normally how I do it. When the game come out, that's when I actually buy the game. And that was top of the preseason. So the talk, and I feel like all the praise that came from the off season going into the beginning of the preseason is what caused the outcome here. Because remember, I started it at a point. The feeling don't change. They have everybody that's there, that's from that point. You know how they have Madden adjustment ratings? They change their ratings drastically. So here, their ratings don't be changed as drastically as it was, in Madden itself. You know what I mean? So these players, the attributes don't get changed as much, but they still are very impactful. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is gone. That's a big notoriety key player. Person I just feel like is one of the best receivers in the league. Yes, he's 99. I believe a lot of these players that got hurt, like the Panthers and the Texans so far, I noticed, yeah, would definitely have an impact on their teams coming into the playoffs. But as we hear, ending it off with injury reports. As you take note, I took note, and you heard everything I said going across. Yeah, it's just simple to know that coming into the playoffs, it's that 10% probably comes off of the talk, because there's a lot of changes. There was a lot of players that was probably added, into the game of the updated rosters, and from the time when I started, those players wasn't there as I was going through the season. So some I do the manually signing, I do all of that. That's the real realisticness comes from doing it, from what I see from the transactions they have in real life. So that's how I go about it here in Madden Stars. So they go to authenticity behind it, but a lot of players' outcomes comes different. Like I feel like Patrick Mahomes, 100% in our world, may not make it all the way, but just knowing he had that real impactful start last year, in our world he wasn't that impactful. They didn't make it to the playoffs, but this year he's there, and we don't know what's to come. We don't know if his real life attributes will come to par, or you know he's gonna come in and do what I've been noticing from last year, and play a good game, but not play that aggressive as I see from real life. So that's just a little minor note, but let's just go into these news. We got major key news right here, top stories. Uh, yes, this is highlights from the week 17. The last two games going into week 17 that was showcase broadcast. Prime time here at Madden Stars, Fizz and Friends Gaming, but not every game is showcased as we always showcase the key players in Madden Stars, the highlighted players, Jarvis Rose and Ronnie Ray. The Dolphins and the Jets will always be shown towards certain time. So like you didn't see the Saints and the Panthers at 1 o'clock, but there was our games substituted in Madden Stars third year. But we always would showcase the highlights from that game. As you see here, if you first time noticing this, yes, yeah, you never actually saw the game, but I have the highlights right here, and then goes in. You saw the 49ers and the Seahawks ending the year off. Going into it, Seahawks and the Panthers are in the playoffs. Seahawks and the Panthers are in the playoffs. So as we go back all the way to week 17 start, we're gonna talk about some news. Of course, like I said, Seahawks are in the playoffs. 49ers at home, beating the 49ers at home. The Raiders place Hurts in injury reserve. Emmanuel Center will miss the next chunk of games on the schedule as he went down this week with a dislocated elbow. He is a big superstar. Emmanuel Sanders in real life did it for the 49ers, but in this case, and comparing the real world to our world, the 49ers didn't do that great. They from the last time they actually had a chance to make it to the playoffs was when me and Ronnie was picked up by them the first year of our break into the NFL season. We was playing with the 49ers that year. 1 year contract. That year we actually stayed on the team all year. We didn't get released, and the releasing comes off of me. If I choose to release you based off of the productivity you do, and then also based on the yards, the numbers you put up, will also deteriorates where you stay, where the team get rid of you, the team needs you, the team don't need you, and I'm just watching who they pick up and substitute for you. If it feels like you need to be gone, you're gonna be gone. So far, ain't nothing like that going on. But the Rams took down the Cardinals. As the Rams are not in it, I believe. I think. Who's the other? Who's that other? Oh, okay. Yeah. So I remember the teams. I remember who the divisional leaders were, and I remember who made it just right in time for the playoffs. But the Rams didn't make it. That was my favorite last year. The Broncos, in real life, I mean, the Rams was my favorite. But yeah, the Broncos took down the Raiders. Um, Cowboys. That Prescott is playing better than I ever expect him to, as he is a Super Bowl champion in our world. So the Cowboys is one of those wild card teams that made it to the playoffs. We see the Dolphins. Patriots lost to the Dolphins in a close game, 35-30. Really impressive game, if you ask me. Dolphins beat the Patriots. Yes, Ronnie was in attendance. You know what I mean? Um, the Bills beat us. Yes, the Bills beat us 44-25. The Jets took a L. Because yes, Adam Gates. And remember, I'm like inside the mind of Adam Gates as I pick the plays. So it's his playbook, but I pick the plays. So yes, you could say it's on my behalf too. I apologize to the fans. This loss is also on me, Fizzleman, because I picked certain plays, and this game was important because we could have made it to the playoffs if we had won. Todd Gurley hitting like close to 200 yards. Emmanuel Sanders gone, of course. Patrick Mahomes defeating the Chargers, which those two teams were battling it out at the end of the season to see who's gonna make it as the divisional leader, and it showcased that the Chiefs are on their way to becoming, yes, of course, like the real life Chiefs, Super Bowl champs. Made as the divisional leaders. Jaguars, yes, they beat the Colts to even make a clinch in the playoffs. The Texans, yes, of course, the Texans beat the Titans, but they was already divisional leaders, I believe. And then the Cowboys, Dak Prescott threw 3 touchdowns, knocking down the Redskins to make it in the playoffs. And the Giants lost to the Eagles. All of these teams here is big teams that made it to the playoffs. Eagles, Cowboys, Texans, Jaguars. Bengals, no, they didn't make it, but Bengals had like a historic season. But we will never talk about the Bengals historic game, which was the Jets and the Bengals going at it. This year, controlled by me, Fizzleman, and Big Bang Shard. We put up amazing numbers, but that was like my first time actually playing against somebody. So I have broke it down how it would be if we ever had anybody that want to come join the league, but they don't want to create a player, they just want to control the team. That team have to be picked like during preseason time. Like, you don't have to play with them during preseason, as the preseason doesn't matter. But during preseason time, you will have to figure out what team you would like to pick, because once when the season starts, you can't change. And if you just want to play a game, you just play any team that you choose to play against me against. And, in that manner, you can't play, if you're not that team, if you didn't choose that team and during preseason, by the start of the season, you cannot play with a team just to play against the computer. So in that case, you're only supposed to play against us, the highlighted players, Fizzleman, Jarvis Rose, and then Ronnie Ray, Dolphins, Jets. You're not supposed to play against us. So that was the case here for this season. We had Big Bang Shaw come in and play against me with the Bengals. That game, it took a toll. It was like we played 4 minutes, but we put up amazing numbers. So it was very unrealistic. And yeah, I think it was on All Madden or something. I don't remember. But the second game was the Dolphins and the Eagles, and I actually played for the Dolphins for Ronnie. I think she was in, and then the Eagles was there. But I think the Eagles did beat us because we only won one game, and that was against the Patriots. So Big Banks beat me twice. You know what I mean? With the Jets and the Dolphins, while he had the Bengals and the Eagles. But the way we brought it back, so with the Eagles, I changed the time from 15 minutes to 6 minutes. That was with the Eagles game. The Eagles and the Dolphins game was 6 minutes each quarter. Just like, head to head competitive. I feel like when it moves like that, it be more realistic. So it goes like that. If you playing a highlighted player, like I said, if you haven't picked the team from beginning of the season, you playing a highlighted player. That highlighted player will always play his team. Play as his player, but don't play as his team for them 6 minutes. And just gotta watch the outcome comes as it goes down for 6 minutes. And I think I didn't do it, but I'm gonna do it next time. If we end up doing it, is stop the acceleration clock for those games, just to give it that head-to-head feel. But I'm also controlling just my player. I can't do nothing but just control my player, lock on to my player. So that would be that case for the next coming season. But if you do, that's it. That's if you just wanna, play the game or play one game against us. Yeah, you gotta play against us. You can't play a computer. You gotta play against us. If you play against a computer, that means, like I said, you choose a team during preseason and came into the regular season. You can't change no more. That's your team for the season. You gotta be brave and bring them every game to the season. You know what I mean? Play with everybody. Pretty much that's what it is. So going into that, we didn't have nobody here. Big Banks was a possible candidate to be that player. Pick a team by preseason. Boom, it was regular season start, but he didn't fall through it. He didn't like the amount of minutes towards the games, I guess. But that's real life. So we're trying to bring that real life basis behind it. So when you do that, you pick your team. You play against the computer for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? That's once a week. We try to make it like that. Like I said, next year we're going to do that. Then we move on. Once we move on, you play any of the, computers. You play any one of us throughout your. If you have us on a game for your schedule, yes, that game will drop down to 6 minute acceleration clock off, and then that game proceeds. And just like that, and I really am looking for people that want to come and just join and play with your favorite team, or, you gotta be a certain age, like you gotta graduate high school and realistically do a couple years in college. If, like, for Ronnie, she's a girl, so, and she's, they don't really make it for girls to be play football, so she's a very talented running back. Yes, Ronnie's a running back, so that's the position she chose, the position she feels comfortable with. She knows herself, and she did play a little football in her past, so that position for her was, that's good for her. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, so she came in as a star, talented running back. Like I said, if you saw season roundup, she signed a 5-year contract for the Dolphins. Going back home where she from, Florida. But in retrospect, what I'm trying to say is that I guess I gotta be realistic with it. Only girls get that special treatment, but for males that want to join, you have to reach you gotta be that age you're actually supposed to, graduate, college and go on to the league, or, if they had NCAA, we would have transferred from there to there, but, and then that showcase your true talents. But as we not like that, and it's not like that, They don't have NCAA. EA, just bring that back. Definitely, I'm gonna make me another player. I don't know if I'm gonna do that tight end position, but I might do a running back because the other day I was thinking about I should have been a running back. But yeah, tight end is what I really played. They put me at end, you know, the end, defensive end. So, but I'm a receiver at heart, and I know my hands. I got hands. So, but they want to say I'm not that fast, but I'm fast. I just, I control my speed. So, as I took a little toll going there, talk about that little segment, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to say is, overall, we just looking for new players right now. So, come in, hit me up, you know what I mean? Text me, comment. Let me know if you want to join. I'll definitely get back to you. But yeah, going further, the Detroit Lions, making it their second year in a row in our world, making it to the playoffs. So that's very impactful. A lot of teams is like this playoff is quite similar to the last playoff from last year, but it's not that as much. And then the Packers took down the Vikings. Both teams, as the Packers made it in real life, but both teams made it in real life. Didn't is the Bears and the Lions took down Falcons. Dope team, you know what I mean? But as we go any further, let's just get into these wild card round news. So we first little bubble. Look at the little bubble bottom right. No matter what happens in the playoff, year one of Doug Maroon's era in Jacksonville has been a success. So this is his first year. They got rid of, like who I said brought them to the Super Bowl last year in our world. Real life, he was pretty ass why they got rid of him. But, we looking to see what is to come. But they had Blake Bortles. They got rid of him. Took in Nick Foles. They had Minshew Magic came out for a little bit in our world, but he didn't really struck the world like how he did in real life. So the Jaguars is there, looking to come from making it to the Super Bowl last year to do it again this year. So the Jaguars is a top team to worry about. Huge accomplishment for the first year head coach to get his team to the playoff. The Kitchens hire was a great move for the Browns, as Matt Miller's praising the Browns, making it to the playoffs in his first year with the team. As like I said, this season I started around the playoffs, around the preseason. Around the preseason, a lot of a lot of talk was praising the Browns. So the Browns didn't play like the real life Browns, and that's a good thing for a Browns fan if you're checking it out. But they made it here to the playoffs. They have a chance. I don't know who's gonna make it. There's a lot. All these teams are good teams. Mark my word. All of them are good teams. So all of these games that's coming that I'm gonna showcase in a few is good games. Going forward, looking forward to see Will Harris back on the field this weekend. Will Harris, don't know who that is, don't know what team he played for, but shout out to him. And top game to I guess they're fascinated by here in EA Sports and Madden Stars. They like to see time to step up for the Houston Texans. Jaguars travel to Houston to take on the Texans in the first round in the NFL playoffs. That right there next to the Chiefs and the Browns will meet. The winner would advance to the divisional round. So that's a game to check out for, definitely. Chiefs and the Browns. Richard Sherman definitely deserved to be in the Pro Bowl. For the fifth time, Khalil Mack will be heading to the Pro Bowl. Fifth Pro Bowl nominated for Russell Wilson in his career. Pretty impressive. I'm sure the Texans will be happy to have Darian Fells back in the lineup this week. And then we go on and like I said, see that So as you see the two games that showcase, we're gonna go more further on. Like I said, check out the stats, you know, in season roundup. But I'm just gonna go here and see if we can end up seeing the Pro Bowl, cause I know these yearly awards. We did discuss these yearly awards last year. You know what I mean? Um, they say Khalil Mack made it to the playoffs, but it's like the thing I'm confused about. Be honest with you, I'm gonna show you a brief second, guys. We about to finish up. We're almost over. See, we got the wild card, divisional, then the championship game, and then we'll go into the Pro Bowl, and then top of April, Super Bowl will happen. Super Bowl will probably happen on April 6th, April 7th. Check out for that. But it's weird. So just check this out. So we going in to check out games coming into the playoffs. If y'all don't know who clinched the playoffs, go check out Season Roundup Playoff Talk, Part 2. Season Roundup Part 2 Playoff Talk. Go check that out if you want to see who's in the playoff. But we only going to showcase, the playoff schedule. I mean, we about to end it off soon, so it's all about the playoffs now. Big game coming up right after this, or if not, to come after this. So I gotta prepare everything for that. But playoff schedule is showcasing that this day, Saturday, but in real life we're here March 11th. Remember, if y'all don't know, I do my our based off of shifts. So right now we're here in the night shift with it on March 11th. The night shift starts between 8 to 12. That means after the night shift, they'll be called an after dark hour shift, and that probably where this game will come about. We're not doing it just like what they declare. So all the games are at 1 o'clock for this wild card in our world. I don't remember how it was in the real world. I remember previous season they showcase every game. This is our first year showcasing the playoffs. So just understand, I go based off of this game time, the date and the time. So what you see here means that two games will be shown for the wild card round. One for Saturday, which is today in our world, and then the next day will be tomorrow, Sunday. But in our world, that's the 11th and that's the 12th. After this, you of course will see one of these two games: Jaguars, Texans, Cowboys, Seahawks. If we go relatable to what the news said the Jaguars and the Texans is a game to watch. But what I could remember, because I remember it, the Jaguars was the first game that played last year against the New England Patriots. So the Jaguars beat the New England Patriots last year to make it all the way to the Super Bowl, and that was the first game. If you go back to season roundup, playoff talk part 2, that's probably the last episode of Madden Stars Year 3. I did say the Cowboys and Seahawks will be the highlighted game going into the season. Coming up next. But in real life, let's break it down. I'm gonna break it down to you guys. So in real life, they would have had the Jaguars and the Texans probably on Fox News, and they had Cowboys Seahawks on CBS, right? Then they have the next day the same thing, Fox and CBS, right? But all these games will be shown at the same time. So these two games will be on two different channels. right? That's in real life. And 9 times out of 10, if you think about it, it's AFC and NFC. So from the AFC, people that that's on the NFC side would probably see NFC games. But bring it back to reality. There's only two channels that I normally see football played in, Fox and CBS. So they might just showcase both games for everybody. Even on NFL Network, ESPN, maybe you see these games be shown like that. Two games shown on two different channels at the same time. I mean, it is the wild card round. It's the start of the playoffs, so it's good to go like that. And I'm not surprised because we is way beyond past the real life Super Bowl 54. So it might as well let's kick it in high gear. So going into that, right? We is gonna showcase the Cowboys and the Seahawks next. Cowboys and the Seahawks will be showcased next, coming up today. You'll see a couple highlights probably during that game. Jaguars and the Texans, but the Cowboys and the Seahawks is the next game we're showcasing for today. That's the only game showcasing for wild card round week for Saturday, and then the second game, which will be tomorrow, would be the Browns and the Chiefs. Probably the biggest game of the wild card round. A lot of notoriety, and if I bring it back to, you know, like what's the best game to check out? Browns and the Chiefs, number one. People probably would like Jaguars and Texans over the Cowboys and Seahawks. So Cowboys and Seahawks probably come third, and then the Lions and Panthers would be the last game to watch, as both of those teams are two teams that really didn't make it to the playoffs and don't really have a lot of historical, what I would say, talk behind them toward our history here in Madden Stars. So these two teams is probably the least watched game. But if you're a fan of the Panthers and a fan of the Lions, you definitely will check this game out. But this game won't be shown. This game towards our history is part of it's like a sleeper game. This is very a sleeper game right here. Lions and the Panthers. But you also would check that highlighted game tomorrow during the Browns and the Chiefs game. So it'll be the Browns and the Chiefs tomorrow with the Cowboys and the Seahawks today, coming up right after this. And that's 100% going down for sure. You will see some highlighting games going across for Jaguars and the Texans in the bubbles or whatnot. And then from there, we wait next week. Like I said, I'm trying to drop for next season. I'm trying to do it weekly. Drop, videos weekly for, Madden Stars next year. So, and remember, check out this Hall of Fame game. You know what I mean? They got the Cowboys and the Steelers going down there for the Hall of Fame game this year, August 6th. Check that out. Just know if I get Madden, I'm definitely playing that game first, and I'll probably showcase it and add it to the new Madden Stars season. But yeah, these two teams right here, these two games right here are definitely being watched here in the wild card. Next week, hopefully it ain't bugged, it ain't nothing wrong, ain't nothing rigged, ain't nothing messed up with the game, because I feel like the game is messed up. They making the Bears go undefeated, probably trying to say the Bears gonna go all the way. So if you see all the teams here, just know these are all the teams that is in the wild card round. And then going in further, next week we'll have the Patriots, the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Bears coming into the division round, holding it down for one of these teams. So the Chiefs will be away. If I go on, let me see who I think is better. I think the Texans is third. So the Texans will be going against. If the Texans win, the Texans. I'm gonna do my voting. Fizzleman Picks Lounge, real quick. Fizzleman Picks. I picked the Texans. I like the Jaguars. Proud of the Jaguars making it to their second year to the playoffs to have a high hopes. But I'm voting for the Texans to win. So if the Texans win, I believe the Texans might be facing the Ravens or the Patriots. But I think they'll be facing the Ravens divisional round. And then the Ravens and the Chiefs may go at it, as I'm going for the Chiefs, but I like the Browns. The Browns is a sleeper team, but I'm going with the real life, Super Bowl champs, Chiefs, for Super Bowl 54. Take that game and just saying that they'll be going away against the Ravens or the Patriots. I want the Chiefs to go against the Patriots and the Texans to go against the Ravens, and then the Ravens beating Ravens and the Chiefs in the AFC conference. And then for the NFC, you had the Cowboys and the Seahawks. Be honest, these two teams I can't really recall, but I'm gonna go with the Cowboys for this game. You already know how the Cowboys, you know what I mean, are, but I feel the Cowboys could get a good run. I like the Seahawks too. They got a good team, but it's a hard game. I can't really declare, but I'm going with both of them to take it. But they're one of these teams. Let me see. I think, if I recall it, the Seahawks have a better team than the Panthers, and so the Seahawks are third. So the Seahawks should probably go against. Bring it back to third. Probably might go again. So it might be the Chiefs and the Ravens. Because if the Chiefs is last, is the 1-4 team go against each other. So that's the Ravens and the Chiefs, and then we had the Texans and the Patriots possibly. It don't matter. Just know those four teams are my pick, and I feel like they're gonna go. And those four teams actually made it to the playoffs in real life, so those are my pick. But here in this world, the Seahawks, I'll just go with the Seahawks just because the Seahawks is, and yes, they is, real life, playoff contenders in going into this year playoffs. And then Panthers was once my favorite team, but the Lions did have made it to the playoffs last year. So we're just here to see what is to happen. But I'm going with the Panthers. Remember, I'm doing everything is gonna be crazy because I have to update all these teams and everything here. So I'm just doing the Saturday games though today. So those four teams, Cowboys, Steelers, Jaguars, Texans, gonna do it. But like I said, the Panthers probably should go against the Bears. We're doing it 1-4, and then the Seahawks would be going against the Eagles. I think the Seahawks and the Eagles actually made it. I don't think the Eagles actually made it. Bring it back. I don't think none of these teams actually was there, but the Seahawks. So I think the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, the Seahawks probably might take it to the NFC because they were the real ones that made it in real life. We're just going for the real life people right now. But you will see Fizzleman Picks Lounge and see who I'm really going for Cowboys and Seahawks. And then Browns and Chiefs, you already know that's another game I have to, rethink about too. But don't worry, just know the Texans and the Panthers I'm rooting for to make it to the playoffs. The Panthers and the Texans I'm rooting for. Those two games won't be shown, but they definitely will be highlighted in the Seahawks and the Cowboys and the Browns and the Chiefs game. But like that, just know today we have the Cowboys and the Seahawks going down. Take a brief, breather and endure that. Cowboys and Seahawks will be shown here on Madden Stars, EA Sports, Fizz and Friends Gaming, 1920 year Madden playoffs. Everything is one results. We don't try to redo games like that. So just know this is all just based off of one game. So yeah. But what I'm trying to go into right now is you see all the postseason, weeks that's to come. We got the divisional round next week, then the conference championship. The Pro Bowl should be coming after that, but they don't showcase no Pro Bowl. So what I'm gonna do, cause I'm trying to do a Pro Bowl. You feel me? I'm trying to do a Pro Bowl. Because I was trying to do a playoff because I heard they was doing a Pro Bowl in the beginning of the talk, but they just made a Pro Bowl just for the game. That's kind of stupid. Last year Pro Bowl, I'm actually trying to do my Pro Bowl accurately, you know what I mean, trying to really do my Pro Bowl. So it's gonna be hard because I did a Pro Bowl last year. I did it with the two worst teams in the season last year, and you know played it at the worst team home. And like I said, the Dolphin Stadium is really notoriety. Last year they had played in the Mercedes Benz, the new Atlanta Falcons, stadium, but in our world, it was a little broken. If you check out, the Falcons and Jaguars game, so it was meant for the the Falcons to win anyway. But that shows me I'm never, staying a year to a game. Like if I buy a new Madden game, it's gonna be each year. I can't do that because of accuracy and all the work I did last year. I did a lot of work. Like I actually did off-season work. I'm telling you guys, this is a lot of work. But buying the game every year would be beneficial in that manner. But yeah, I'm gonna think about how to do a Pro Bowl this year. So when Pro Bowl week come, that's what I'm gonna be trying to gather up and try to take on and make it happen. So we're just here to see what goes down. But yeah, Cowboys Seahawks coming up next. Take that note and know that Pro Bowl may be fix up this year. If I do it the same way, because I don't have no other mind towards it. Like I said, you could check out all the teams that actually made it. Like I said, these are the teams that's on the bye right now. You know what I mean? These are the teams that's going to be going down and playing in this wild card matchup. But if I do go based off of, like I said, it's the Dolphins and the Raiders. Dolphins and the Raiders will be a game. Oh, nah, I did it like this, AFC and the NFC. So if I pick the worst NFC, AFC team, right? That's the Dolphins, right? And then I pick the worst NFC team, that's the Buccaneers, right? That's the same uniforms that I might just do. I might just redo what I did, last year. That's low key what I might just go do. Or might make the Vikings be it. I mean, I don't know what the jersey's gonna be like, be honest with you guys. But the Buccaneers and the Dolphins, two teams. I think the Tampa Bay is gonna be hosting the Super Bowl next year, so um Dolphins was, if I do it like that, if I really do it like that, I guess it will make it authentic. But it was just lucky that I end up having the Dolphins and the Buccaneers played each other in their first regular season game, and one of their regular season games last the first year of buying Madden, so Madden 18. So honestly, I ended up having that game filmed, but I had to do that game differently because of that. Like it was a lot of work to do, so it would probably come out in a video, maybe come out here live with you guys. But if I go based off of that, right? Dolphins and Buccaneers would be it. Last year we was down there in 3-5. This year we probably go back to the Tampa, and then that makes me think like maybe I just might as well do it based off of the previous year. Would be the previous year of the Pro Bowl will be the Super Bowl the following year. So whatever the Super Bowl will be the following year, until we actually get a real Pro Bowl, will probably be that. It would definitely be that. Like that next year Pro Super Bowl will be that this year. Like so, Super Bowl 54 probably be at Tampa. So Super Bowl 53 will be. I mean Super Bowl 54 is at Tampa. So that means Pro Bowl 53. I'm just gonna say it's Pro Bowl 53. No, I'm tripping. Pro Bowl 55 is at Tampa. Pro Bowl 54 is in Miami. I mean, bring it back. Super Bowl 55 is in Tampa. Super Bowl 55 is in Tampa. Pro Bowl 54, this Pro Bowl gonna probably might be in Tampa. We'll keep you heads up with Madden Newsday when it comes to Pro Bowl week, but yeah, Tampa might be the spot for the Pro Bowl, and then the Dolphins would be the other team, you know, going down there in the Pro Bowl. But the reason I'm saying this is because last year we did a Pro Bowl and we was down there in Miami with the Dolphins and the Buccaneers, and the Dolphins was the host of the Pro Bowl last year. We were supposed to go to Atlanta, but we stayed down there in Minnesota in our game. But it's all good, you know. It's a video game, so you can check out that game. Just think of it as, you know, made for the Falcons. But yeah, the Buccaneers might be the Pro Bowl this year, and then instead of doing it based off of, you know, the worst team, which I would do it off of the worst team, but wherever the Super Bowl next year, the worst team will be playing wherever the Super Bowl is that year. And I think the following year, can't recall who will be that following year for Super Bowl 56, but yeah, I might do it like that. But if I do it based off of this, right? Uh, where they at? Where they at? I think I passed it. If you go based off of the Dolphins, see, look, they play the Buccaneers at Buccaneers week 2 preseason, right? Week 2 preseason, they play the Buccaneers, but this is the preseason, so they it's kind of like, you know, it's hard. They substitute players for us, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's not every player gonna get shown, and they don't play the Buccaneers. They didn't play the Buccaneers all year, but the preseason. So if we do it like that, it'll be the Dolphins in the preseason, or we go to Buccaneers, right? See that they play the Dolphins, of course. When we go to their regular season, they play the 49ers, but they gotta be one of the worst teams. I don't know what's the worst team they hosted that didn't make it. That could correspond with this game, but and it gotta be AFC, so it's kind of hard. And it seemed like only that preseason week was the only week that we could actually, like, you know, talk about it. But yeah, preseason seemed like it's the only week we could actually talk about playing that game unless I do it outside. So if I'm not able to do it outside of the real world, I would do it for the preseason. Preseason week 2 would be the game hosting for the Pro Bowl. NFC, AFC, 2 of the same teams from last year. 2 of the worst teams in each division. So each conference. So why not? I think it's logical. I think it's, you know, it's real, if you ask me. But 100%, we don't know what's gonna happen. So it kind of made me don't want to show the playoff no more just because of that, and just showcase the Super Bowl like I've been doing. But Madden, EA Sports, work on making a playoffs for us, please. A Pro Bowl. Work on making a Pro Bowl for us that is generic, that is automatic. They put players that did good for the franchise into it, please. But like that's where we at right now with it. We about to head out soon, but before we head out, I just wanna go check out Pro Bowl that they added to this game. Because the first time they said they added a Pro Bowl. So I want to know, did they fix with this Pro Bowl? See, look. See, you got the Pro Bowl here, but what Pro Bowl is this? You know what I mean? I don't know what Pro Bowl this is, though. That's the thing. I guess I gotta look. Let me see this real quick. We're gonna take a brief second, go through this game, and see if we could do this Pro Bowl. So, gonna update roster. I think we could see Pro Bowls. No, we can't see the Pro Bowls teams. So that's kind of hard. So there is a Pro Bowl, right? But I don't know if it's this year Pro Bowl. That's the thing. I been knew they had this Pro Bowl. Don't act like I was new. I knew they had a Pro Bowl, but the Pro Bowl they had, I don't know if it was from the previous year or is it for this year. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my research and recheck and see what's to come, because at the end of Madden 1920 Madden playoffs will be the Pro Bowl. That'll be the last video. Then we showcase the Super Bowl. So, and Madden Super Bowl's got their own playlist, their own, place you can find them. So this is what we're gonna looking forward to, is to see if we can get this Pro Bowl going. So that's 9 times out of 10. I think we're gonna do. I think we can happen. I'm gonna do my research, look it up online, see stuff, and if there's nothing I could do about it but make my own Dolphins and the Buccaneers. But if I can, I'm definitely using this as the background and ask somebody to play against me. But without further ado, taking a little brief second. You know what I mean? We just now hitting about an hour here talking to you guys here in this night shift. Remember I said night shift was between 8 and 12. We just did an hour right now. We're finished talking. We went through the stats. We saw, who's in the playoffs. You see the top teams. You see the schedule, the next game to come. And you see that I'm trying to do a Pro Bowl. So just know I'm trying to do this for you guys. And we're going to do it. But without any further ado, without anything else to say, Fizzleman1 is signing out like always. And like that, yeah, I'm gone.